In today's episode, I'm going to show you some of the planning, preparation, and locations that we're scouting for this part of the Grandiose project. So, join me and let's explore the Italian Dolomites. Oh, hey, come on in. Wasn't expecting you, but hey, since you're here, I'm going to show you the room here at Cinque Torre. I'm just getting ready for this photo adventure I'm going on. Anyways, you've got the double bunks here, and it's nice because we're able to spread out. And I've got all my stuff up here that I'm getting ready, and over here we put some clothes. Got a little dresser right here. If you want some fresh air, got a window with a beautiful view. This is it. It's nice and cozy. And anyways, it's a good place to stay if you're ever here. Cinque Torre. So right now we're out during the middle of the day and the light for photographs is not good at all, but there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to take reference photos of for the paintings, and a couple of them are like these pine trees with this sort of rock outcropping, and then I'm just looking for sort of detail stuff that I can use for compositions in the paintings. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to interrupt for a second and come back to my computer. Since it's been about a year or so since I was in the Dolomites last, and I recorded all this video, I've had a chance to look through my images, actually make a lot of paintings from these images, and kind of wrap my head around the project a little bit better than I had at this time of filming. So I want to show you some of the stuff that I took images of that day at Cinque Torre, and explain sort of my thought process as to why I take the images that I do. Now, a lot of these images are not really for photographic reasons, but for more compositional or idea reasons for the paintings. And I'm going to explain some of those things right now. So if we start here, you'll notice that I have some flowers, I have some peaks, I have this sign, I've got this tree on a cliff with some mountains in the background, more flowers with mountains in the background, a path, and a lot of peaks, flowers, and just different stuff that was of the location. When I'm out shooting, especially in the middle of the day like this, I'm really just looking for reference photos. This one, for instance, was because I really love the blue color of this flower. This one because I love the shapes of these sort of yellow balls that these flowers created. and then the different shapes of these other yellow flowers. This image I really liked because of the way I was able to push back the receding flowers in space and make them blurry. I liked this idea maybe compositionally for a painting, to blur out the background with these beautiful kind of greens with these sort of yellow abstracted flowers. Now, these may never turn into paintings, but it's maybe like I'll see this stuff when I'm out hiking around and think, I want to get a reference shot for that. A lot of the images that I take are to try to remind myself at a later date of the experience that I was having, and of the location and the scenes and the sights and sounds and smells, and to try to really gather all that stuff together so that when I'm back at home and in my studio and kind of, letting the creative juices start simmering, I try to go back into my reference photos and see what ideas get sparked, see what they kind of make me think or feel at the time. And so I end up shooting a lot of images that photographically are just kind of snapshots in a way. But those snapshots are very important to me back here in the studio when I'm composing and trying to put together ideas about composition and form and color and all the stuff that will go into a painting. You saw me take a picture of this tree, and I really love the shape of this tree with the shadow and the rock and this hill with the rocks behind it. And I just kind of liked the thing as a whole. There was something that stood out, that this tree was almost like a figure. And here's the same tree up here with the peak behind it. This actually turned into a painting that I did that may turn into a bigger painting. I really liked this sort of foreground to midground to background element that this created, this sort of line that comes in from the bottom here and goes up to this peak here. And I just like this little cloud kind of hanging out back here. All of these things sort of seemed like characters on a stage to me, and I really liked the idea of that. So when I'm out on a location during the day and the light's not good, a lot of these times are really good for getting a bigger, broad view of the location, because I'm not going to be as concerned with the lighting for the paintings, because I can kind of make that up. But for photography, I really need the lighting to be good, and that's what it's all about with the photography, is getting great lighting conditions and a strong composition. Otherwise the photographs kind of fall flat. But I don't have to always concern myself with that, because in the studio a lot of the times I'm kind of making up stuff as I go. But if I take these photos right here, I made a couple different panoramas from them, and this one I actually like a lot because it gives you a pretty wide view of this scene. And I really am just looking for different elements in the landscape and in the scenery that catch my eye, that I might want to throw into a painting or a drawing, or just want to remember a reference at a later date. So I wanted to share some of my thought process with you about a year after I made this video, because I was able to come back and think about it and actually put a lot of the images that I took to practical use in the studio, creating compositions and paintings from. Now, I'm going to show you some of the better images that I took photographically and conclude our time at Cinque Torre in the Italian Dolomites.
I'm having right now an eggplant parmesan baked. It's so delicious. And over here on this side, John's having a pasta with sausage that he's really enjoying. See you guys later.
That was just the first course. Okay, how would you do it?
So join me as we explore the Italian Dolomites. Come on.
My butt is getting sore on this rock. Oh, my butt's so sore. All right. Hey there. What?
Take 9.
Take 10, FYI.